Well, good morning. Welcome back to Breaking New Roots. I think I'm just going to kind of answer the elephant in the room here. This is not chicken chores. This is milking. Why am I milking? It's probably what you're probably wondering. That's what I'm wondering I'm doing here. Just shoot you straight. Olivia and the kids had to leave. They didn't leave me. At least I hope not. But they did have to go back to Indiana. About a month ago, I made a post, and then we went on like a 2 or 3 week break there where we had a death in the family on Olivia's side. Very sudden, very unfortunate. We're very sad still about that one. And then at the same time, her grandfather on her dad's side was still very, very sick. He unfortunately passed this last week. It's almost a relief that he's passed. I say that delicately, like, we'll miss him, don't get me wrong, but he was in a lot of pain there the last little bit. So Olivia and the kids had to leave again. So that makes me in charge of milking Hazel Augustine, the milk machine. And I've noticed that we've had some problems with her here recently, with wanting to get back in the stanchion. So let's see how we do. I also know she doesn't like you guys. I don't know what it is. I think it's just you guys kind of freak her out a little bit. I don't know if you guys have heard, but this cow's kind of particular. I forgot to bring a scoop. Dang it. Alright, I'll be right back. Sorry, Hazel. Hazel, I know, babe. We keep changing up who's coming out here to milk you, and you don't like it. I get it. You're justified, babe. I know. Go over. You know this. No, Hazel. Go around. Go this way. I know. See? Hi, babe. I know. You said, I know, we told you we wouldn't switch anymore. I know. They had to go back to Indiana. Can you please just come on? See? I'm not harmful. If I go like ways away, come on, Hazel. Alright, I'm walking away. Ma'am. See? Was that so hard, Hazel? We got rain on us this morning? Is that just trees? Did we get a lot of rain last night, Hazel? I'm beautiful. You are a beautiful cow. Next question, you guys might be wondering, is have I ever milked a cow before? Until the first death of her uncle. No, I had never milked a cow in my life. From Indiana, grew up in a small farming town, but I never milked, did I, Hazel? And sorry, that was a little loud. I'd come out here when he had passed before they had to leave. All right, Hazel, I need you to slide over. Thank you, ma'am. Coming down. And I'd come out here a couple of times with Olivia to try and learn. But I'll be honest with you, if you've met my wife, she's kind of bossy. And I couldn't do it her way. So, I know, coming back down, just trying you off. I had to go to YouTube University to try and figure out, because Hazel is a small teat cow. I guess I shouldn't say that. I don't really know, but my hands were too big, and the way Olivia was teaching me was not working, was it, Hazel? So Olivia was in 4-H forever, 4-H leader, all that fun stuff in Indiana. You're all right. And with her doing that, she obviously had some techniques on how to milk that she had learned to teach kids. And she made a medical glove and put pinholes in it that you basically had to milk like a cow teat to be able to practice, basically. And it was funny. I still struggled. And Lincoln, he was still 4 at that point, but 4 to 5, without any hesitation, just comes up and starts doing it without any, just basically watching her do it once. So that was pretty cool. And I'll be honest, the first day that I had to milk her when they left last time, me and Hazel were out here for probably over 90 minutes. I wasn't comfortable, she wasn't comfortable. It was just a long morning. But we got through it. And then day 2, I was probably at 30 to 40 minutes. And then day 3, I was probably at 20 to 30. So it's just crazy how once you find your routine with your cow, how much easier it can go. I guess the next question is, if you guys can even see me, is do I enjoy milking? And that first day, no, 0% chance. Worst thing I'd ever done. And Olivia said before she came back that she gets her chore back when she comes back. I'm not taking it from her. And I obviously oblige. But I really do enjoy this. It's very beautiful. The fog coming up off the mountain, the birds waking up. We're out here early before it gets hot. What are you dancing for already? Because I'm talking? Okay. Do you want some hay cubes? And I'll obviously give Olivia her chore back when she comes back, but do I enjoy this? Yes. 1,000. You need more feed. What the heck, lady? This means I need to go faster, doesn't it, Hazel? But do I enjoy milking her? Yes. A whole bunch. It's just probably one of the most beautiful things you can do in the morning. Saying I don't like taking care of my chickens, but it is very beautiful. The most common question, I feel like I'm doing a frequently asked questions right now, so I didn't expect to do that this morning, but I guess here we are. So yeah, Olivia and the kids will be back in a couple days. They basically went back to the calling and the funeral on the same day, since he's been kind of expected to pass. So they'll be back. It's just a weekend. Why the kids didn't stay with me and just let Olivia go, since it is a pretty far haul from where we live, back to Indiana, and that's because they both wanted to go. That was kind of the plan, since they didn't really know him too well since they're so little. that they probably would have been better off to stay here with it, and they wanted to go to obviously see grandparents. So they're their own grandparents. So understood. So one of the most common questions that some of you keen observers noticed, and I cut it out of it could have been a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry, I can't remember, but I got an off-farm job. So that's why our YouTube channels looked a lot different here. I do apologize for that. I don't apologize for getting the job. I do apologize for our channel looking a lot different. You guys have been here for a long time. We farmed in Indiana. We sold everything. Showed some of that transition. If you're oldie, and you've been here since Schoentrup Farms before I deleted the channel, so you've really seen us grow and struggle a farm, grow and then struggle with maintaining that farm as we started our family. With the first death of our uncle, we took a pause. I also started that job the week that he passed, or the week before he passed. So I'd only been there about 3 days. So obviously I didn't have time or anything to use to go. I will say my employer was more than gracious to give me that time to go back. But unfortunately, with the milk machine here, someone's got to stay a milker. So we have great friends here. Most of them you guys probably know. Megan and Andy from Sugar It, and then Amelia from JW Farms, which we've done farm tours, and then Megan and Andy are like superstars, and most of you probably came from their channel, but they all offered to come milk her while we were gone, since it was just for a few days. And we don't exactly live that close. Like, we're close in distance, but we're not about to ask someone to do that. This cow is our responsibility. If it was one of our more immediate family members, then yeah, probably we would make arrangements or something like that so she could continue to get milked. But either way, since it's not our immediate mom or dad, basically that's kind of where we have determined things, if put it that way. Oh my gosh, I just spilled the milk, Hazel. Dang it. Would you like some hay cubes now, or are you just tired of me talking? You can be honest. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. Does that work? Because I don't think you're quite done yet. So my new job, it's basically work for a remediation and reconstruction company. It's a national chain. I'm not going to specify which one, but it's a really good company. It's honestly the best job I've ever had. And I'm not trying to bash any of my old employers that might be watching. Don't think that. It's just tying everything that I've had as jobs in the past together into one. And I have a really good team of people I'm working with, and it's a very enjoyable place to go work every day. So this is like truly my first 9 to 5 I've ever had in my life. I really enjoy the work. It doesn't really feel like I go to work. Obviously I am, because I'm away from the farm, but it feels like a place I'm wanting to be for a long time. So that's why our YouTube channel is taking a change. When the death happened, I just started this new job. We had a plan on what we were going to do with our YouTube channel, and that kind of threw a wrench into things. We have since me and Olivia have kind of decided on what the channel's going to look like for a little while, because this is the season of life that we're in. Our kids are still little. Our farm is still at the infancy stages, but we want to make sure that we're recording and keeping track of everything, because if nothing else, if no one else watched these videos, which I know we have a great loyal support group and we thank you for that, but if no one else watched, it would at least be kind of like our own home videos to watch our kids grow up. I know I've said that in the past, but the 2 or 3 weeks we were offline, there were pretty in-depth conversations between me and Olivia to whether we were going to quit YouTube or not, if I'm being honest. Oh, sorry, Hazel. You want more hay cubes? There's no way you ate all those. Do you want more feed? Is that what you want? Okay. It was feed, not hay cubes, guys. Sorry, Hazel. We're almost done. So anyway, there are real conversations about us quitting YouTube, which they were hard conversations, let's put it that way. We've been on YouTube, I want to say, since like 2018, 2019. It may have been earlier. Honestly, can't remember. It's always been a part of our life. And when we did the farm tours, we didn't really record like our travels and stuff. I kind of wish we would have now. I think about that a lot. Not saying you guys probably would want to see us like go to like Niagara Falls and all the stuff we did off camera, but I feel like those opportunities to watch our kids grow up were missed. All right, I think you're done. Is that what you're telling me? All right. Good job today. So, there were some very real conversations about us quitting YouTube that I'm glad we decided to come back to it, or to pick it back up again. And I just think with the season of life we're in, with the age our kids are, where we're at with starting this little homestead here, it's about all we can give right now to make a video for YouTube a week. I really enjoy making them though. That's why when the conversations were happening, that's kind of where my stance was, is I actually I really enjoy editing. I really enjoy videoing. I really enjoy sharing what's going on here with everybody, because not only for you to enjoy, for us to enjoy down the road when our kids are growing up to look back on, but it's almost a way that we can also still be connected to our family. We try and make calls, and we're writing letters now, and my kids are drawing pictures to send back and doing that kind of stuff, but it's at least a nice way that they can still see us and what we're doing. Hazel, you did good, babe. I know. So the other reason why she kind of struggled getting in here this morning was we've obviously, when Olivia was gone, I milked, she came back. She's definitely a particular cow. I say particular, I think it's just dairy and jerseys and breed versus a beef cow. She doesn't like changing her routine. She doesn't like any of that. So obviously she doesn't want to go in the stanchion for me because she's gotten used to Olivia again. So today she's like, what are you doing here? That's kind of what those moves felt like to me. And then tomorrow, hopefully it'll go a little bit easier. And then Monday, when Olivia comes back, it'll probably be tough for her. And that's just the reality of it. So I don't want to take milking away from Olivia. I do really enjoy it though, but it is kind of her chore. Do you still want to keep eating? Or are you just done? Do you want me to leave it for a minute? What does she do now? I guess I didn't ask that. I love my wife. If you guys know her at all, when she left the first time, and obviously I've never milked before, I'll leave it for you for a minute, Hazel. When she left, she hand wrote notes to tell me like what to do, like how much solution to add. Hi, babe. Can I give you a kiss or no? She gave me like a 2-page handwritten, which it just reminded me of, oh man, what show was it where they talked about, it was like a handwritten note and it was like 10 pages front and back. I can't remember. And he fell asleep while trying to read it. You guys will probably know what I'm talking about. Hopefully it's a pop culture reference. But anyway, she left me a 2-page, super fine print instructions on what to do. And then I joked if there was anything new, and me being me, and a man, I didn't listen, probably, as well as I should have, because I know she had some changes. But, yeah. Hazel, I'm gonna go process your milk real quick, babe, and I'll be back for your stuff, okay? You can keep eating the feed. I'm not gonna hold feed from you. And for the other big question to my job is, do I miss being here every day? 1,000%. 1,000%. It's, if I could stay home full time and do this, obviously YouTube would probably be the full-time job. But the reality is, everything that we have done to do those farm tours, everything we did to do those farm tours, everything we did to get here and get this house done, put us in a financial bind. YouTube wasn't really paying our bills like we'd hoped. And that's just the reality of it. And I'm not sad about it. I think I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to be when I'm supposed to be there, as cliche as that is. So it's not fun to miss my kids during the day. But I don't really feel like I'm missing out, because I do get to be home with them every single night for dinner. And we sit at the dinner table every single night for dinner. So I do really enjoy that. All right, what am I doing? Processing milk. Man, I did really good. Good job, Hazel. We're old school. I don't know if that's old school. Glass, filter, strainer, filter, boom. I need to put the other bucket away, so I didn't do that. Olivia, God love her, really did a lot of research and kind of I love her, don't get me wrong. Really did a lot of research into the best way to do this. And then literally a conversation with Megan at True Grit, and here we are. Sometimes simple is the best. So maybe I didn't do very good. I feel like I did. So I don't know if it was said in any of the other videos, but Hazel's dropped to about half a gallon production. We've been talking about how much longer will we let her go as far as production goes. I don't really know. I think Olivia's kind of set when she gets to a quart. That's probably where we'll decide that we'll be done milking, and then she should be calving in the fall. Obviously it's June, so we still have quite a few months until the fall, but it's crazy, man. I really just want to sit with a cup of coffee right now and enjoy the view on the front porch, but I still got work to do. But yeah, if I was home full time, I would probably fight Olivia for the milking. But right now, I think we talked about it last. I don't remember. I'm sorry for losing track of where the videos are and stuff. We're only a week. This video will come out next week. I know we're not that far off. It's just something I try to remember what I say, but I'm not the best at that. Next question, in today's random frequently asked questions video I fell into. What is our favorite animal to raise? Well, it's pretty easy, kids. I would say for myself it's the chickens, and Olivia's is the cow. I would assume. Olivia doesn't like the chickens, so I could probably guess that one. I love the chickens. I love Hazel. She's a great cow. But I have always... I don't know how to explain it. And maybe it's a thing where like I enjoy I think that's why I like my job. So I get to watch progress. I get to watch things from start to finish. With like some of the things, like I always fall into like the lawn mowing videos or like a painting video where like it's a huge transformation in a short amount of time. It's so weird. So the reason why I think I like the chickens is not necessarily because of what they are. I think it's because of what they do. And it's a very calculated kind of like progression. So like I know this works with having chicken tractors and watching them move. I might not see the immediate results today, but like all of these, I bush hogged all this too, but like they came through here and it looks ugly right now, but in a year or 6 months from now, potentially, this could be completely different pasture. And I like the precision that they give me with the chicken tractor to almost be like a mower. So, and I say that my favorite animal is chickens. I don't know if it's necessarily that. It might be cows. It's actually pigs, but I do enjoy what they can do for our farm or our homestead. And still no deaths since I've had to put the wire up. I'll be honest, I'm getting kind of putting this wire up every night. It's not a big deal. It's just kind of frustrating to have to come back down here every night, but I need to anyway and check on them so that way they make sure they're not going to run out of water or been out of water all day, because you know these Plausen waters can be a little finicky. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know where I was going with that. It's not a big deal to come down here and put this up. I do think maybe I will just keep doing this until they graduate. And then part of me is like, maybe I'll just stop doing it in like a week. I don't really know. Good morning, chickens. If anything, doing this, like this part of it right here with the reels and the stakes and all that, really has me thinking about more animals, which leads me to literally the next question I saw on my phone, which is, what animals are we going to get? And that's a question that changes by an answer, or sorry, it's an answer that changes daily with us. And we have discussions all the time about what we want. One of our neighbors down here that we haven't met yet has a good flock of sheep. And I'll be honest, we've never had good sheep. Like, I shouldn't say good, like, we've never owned sheep. B, every time we've tried to eat sheep or lamb, we just didn't really like it. We think they were I'll just say that. We think they were grain fed and just like on a dirt lot. So not exactly the same as like grass fed. So it stunk our whole house up. That's all I remember is how bad it stunk, which is unfortunate. You know, that's not the thing I should remember. So anyway, we talked about sheep. We've talked about goats. I want turkeys. Cows, obviously some beef cattle, but like with everything costs so much dang money. And when we're still trying to figure out our finances from doing our renovation and moving and all that fun stuff, it's just kind of one of those things right now. It's like we're just trying to survive right now, basically, if that makes sense. And I know most people out there are just trying to survive as well financially, but it's a tough pull today. There's a good hill right here. It's making it pretty hard. Tomorrow will be an even more fun turn. But yeah, I think we've kind of talked about everything. Pigs, I think I said that was my favorite animal. Pigs though, we are on the list to get some pigs next spring, or at least we're on the list to. We'll see. I trust them because they came from me, or from a reference from Megan and Andy at True Grit. So we are slated to get pigs, so that will hopefully happen next spring. But then the cows, or do we go goats or sheep? It's been a discussion we've been having a lot more here lately, if I'm being honest. And I don't know what we're gonna go with. Part of me wants to go with what you know. Part of me wants, there's no chicken tractor wheels on this one. Part of me wants to look at what is the land really telling us. I feel like we kind of learned our lesson from trying to force land do stuff that's not meant to do when we were in Indiana with more of our production farm to table business. And part of us wants to do what this land is calling for. And me and Olivia will probably agree or disagree. I don't really know. But we truly think that this piece of land is kind of calling for some goats. If I'm being honest. It's pretty scrubby. It's been sitting vacant. Hazel's not gonna eat the pasture I'm not gonna force her to. It's really brambly and thick. And as much enjoyment as I get out of the bush hog and doing that, we could also be doing something productive with it with goats, is what we're probably thinking. Man, I'm all out of kilter talking today. Sorry for the heavy breathing. That was quite the turn. So, what will we get next? Unless something else comes up, it'll be pigs. Otherwise, what's your guys' thoughts? Do we go with what the land's telling us? Do we go with what we know with it being cows? I don't really know. Sorry, chicken. Excuse me. Like no water in that. Oops. I guess it doesn't really matter what animal we get, does it? I don't think there is a wrong choice. Money always drives everything, though. I'll say that. I did have a question about the breed, why we went Barred Rock and not just like Cornish Cross, and it's valid. Part of me is kind of wishing for some Cornish Cross right now, just to put some meat back in our freezer again, but at the same time, I think me and Olivia had clear objectives when we started over again, or started our farm again. Sorry, the sun's right there. Put it this way, a little bit easier. When we initially started, we set out that we wanted a breed that is dual purpose. And then when we were in Indiana, we did the experiment with the Barred Rock and Dark Cornish. And then those offspring is what we ate our last year for us as an experiment. And that was the best chicken I ever had. So that's kind of what we wanted to go with. Obviously, this experiment hasn't gone well with all of the Dark Cornish dying and shipment. I have 2, I'm going to hope, hens left. I actually would hope they would be roosters, but they're not. I can almost guarantee that with how small they are. But that's kind of our objective. Need some scab wood. That's why we wanted to go that route, is because we really enjoyed the meat. We really enjoyed the opportunity for them to be dual purpose. So we could get eggs, sell eggs, and then also eat them at the end of the day. And it gives us a chicken that wasn't engineered to live in a barn. I don't have any problems with Cornish Cross. Part of me wishes we probably would have raised some this year, if I'm being honest, just because our freezer's empty. But that's just the decision we made. So I'm gonna hike back up this hill. Camera's about to die. I don't have another battery. We're not trying to just do our chores every weekend and that be the only thing we record. I know it kind of feels that way. Today fell into a Q&A. I did not expect that at all. I was hoping I could answer some of the most commonly asked questions. I'm not trying to defend myself in any way. I know it sometimes might come off that way. We're just trying to make sure everyone kind of knows and understands what we're doing here. We're starting a homestead from scratch. We have tons of regenerative agriculture experience, but we're also trying to do it financially smart as well. I don't want to go get a bunch of debt and do a bunch of lines of credit or a bunch of credit cards to buy animals, because as I've learned from my own mistakes, sometimes investing in something that's alive like that can really come back to really bite you in the butt. So thank you guys for coming along. Sorry if this ended up being one super long Paul rant answering the commonly asked questions in his comment section and emails. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know what the rest of my day is going to bring yet, but I appreciate you guys being here with me today, and I will catch you guys on the next one.